Welcome back to News Insights. Before we went for break, we were talking about dodging bullets, Nigerians dodging bullets by not voting P2B as claimed by Mock and APC spokespeople. Now, Senator Natasha is talking about death. Could it be by bullets? Any kind of political death?
No, I think it's Akpabio that is trying to dodge bullets.
Who is dodging bullets at this time?
It's Akpabio that is dodging bullets.
This is a very strong allegation that Senator Natasha is putting up there. And she says she's ready if Akpabio decides to take her to court. That when they get to the bridge, they will cross it. You know, it was remarkable for her to claim that Akpabio first of all approached Ododo Usman, who said, even recalling her is going to be difficult because her people are with her, you know. And Akpabio now made a second attempt. Decided to go to Bello, you know, made a second demand about being killed. And that it was Senator Suko that drove him to Hilton.
She was emphatic.
That's very detailed.
Direct, detailed.
That's very detailed. That's not as empty as we are
In fact, she first of all said that she and Ododo were in good terms. But Ododo trying to please the paymaster, who is
Bello and
paymaster at this time, or his master.
Sorry, not paymaster, his master.
Yes.
So he listened to him, so he went for that meeting. And that's where all these things that we're going to talk about were conjured up.
Now, let's just hit the nail at the head. Airline, do you think Akpabio should sue Natasha for the interest of clarity? Let Nigerians know who these men are. Because, you know, conspiring to kill or attempting to kill or discussing to kill a political opponent is not something that we should handle with a kid's glove. Do you think Akpabio should sue Natasha?
Well,
let's see the truth.
Well, I am not in position to advise him on legal terms if he should go ahead to sue her. But the truth again is this: if you come to call me this morning a gay as a public office holder, and I am very certain in my heart that it's not something that had ever even crossed my mind, neither thinking of, not even practicing, I may want to prove myself. But then, if you called me a gay, and probably while I was coming this morning, I pecked this man, I tap his bum. Even if I'm not a gay, my actions, my interest, invariably, is going toward that direction, I will assume that it's out of what you've seen me do that you are suspecting me. And in every rumor, there's an element of truth. And killing sometimes is not only when you shoot a man.
That's what I was asking.
You can kill a man's character.
Political death, character assassination.
Natasha, God will bless her. Are you aware that prior to the election between her and Bello, there was a time, even her campaign office in Kogi was burnt down? We lost 1 or 2 persons there. Are you aware of the woman, the PDP women leader in Kogi, that's my home state, that was killed, burnt in her house under Bello? So when a Bello is involved with an Akpabio, who do not have respect for women, who do not have respect for our constitution, who think they are little gods, I am not saying they are killers, but a lot of persons have died in Kogi State under Bello.
Okay, so was the chief security officer?
That were unexplainable. How comes he's getting involved again? You are no longer a governor.
So this is not what we are discussing. I mean, nobody was expecting Bello to even be getting involved in politics. Just a few months ago, look how they was there looking for him and all that. Is he still looking for Bello?
Bello don't go and visit FCT Minister Wiki, and it was publicized.
No, he went with Ododo.
The two of them.
Okay, let's get back to
what we're talking about. You see, politically, if I was a special advisor on political matters, I would tell the Senate President Akpabio to just let the matter go. In the first place, this matter shouldn't have gotten to where it is as we speak. There are some things you let. It's not all fight that is worth it. But when you want to trample on people I think at a particular time you trampled on the wrong person, someone that had a fight in her. Not all Nigerians have a fight in them, but this particular one has a fight in her. So she brought it, she has taken it to the international parliamentarian meeting, and Akpabio was there that day. Took it there, brought it home, took it to the Nigerian judiciary, did a homecoming. Now they went also as far as I listened to her yesterday on with Shehu. She said something. He said she told some newspaper and TV station before the news broke out that they were going to recall her. That I just got the information now that they were going to start the process of recall. And those guys didn't believe her because they didn't have any substantive evidence to rely on. But he said in less than how many hours the recall process started. He said this is what they are going to do. So in other words, she has an insight. She said that in the House, in the Senate, there is a way news goes around. And she said she has her own way of verification.
Certainly.
You know? So what I'm trying to say, if I was to advise Akpabio at this particular time, because too many things are coming up, the banana peels in the Senate or in the House on leadership is very strong.
Okay.
So me, I would advise him, drop this matter, let it die.
But you know, this cancellation policy or a winner takes all mentality is in our politicians. The argument started on the Senate floor and it should have ended there. Why go all out if it is true? A Senate president from a different district, different senatorial district, from a different state. What is your interest of recalling a colleague? Natasha is Akpabio's colleague. Nothing more than that.
It's not his principal.
It's not his principal. Natasha's people voted for her.
The same
Natasha could have been Senate president.
Natasha bought ticket. Her people, she did screening. She went into primaries. She came out elected in her party. She contested. Bello did everything he could and didn't succeed. She was elected. She was sworn in. Akpabio didn't buy a ticket. Akpabio should be answering his EFCC allegations or whatever, but that is not my issue.
And even how he got to become a Senate president, he contested for the position of the president
in primary.
Yes.
And there's no way you would have bought a ticket for.
It's closed now. Nothing was reserved.
So let's keep that. That is the magic. That is the government magic that Fela sang over 30-something years ago. So today, there's what James Hadley. Sometimes I make references. He wrote a book says Albani says are near to the ground. Because he was asked, how do you get information? When police detectives needed information to crack some certain serious high-profile crime in that city, if they can't get it, they go to Albani. Just buy him sausage and beer. He will tell you everything you need to know with detailed.
Thank God are you Albani?
Thank God you're not an armed robber.
So you see, my advice to them is this. Either they like it or not, who the gods have blessed, no man can cause. Two-Face sang it. Natasha is no longer
It's a senator.
the normal woman or senator they can just push around and push here
And
and
actually,
there.
what gives the Senate president the confidence that you can push a fellow senator anyhow?
The impetus.
It's nonsensical because it's your colleague.
You know what she said? They did suspend Natasha based on allegations against the Senate president because the matter sexual harassment. Yeah. The matter is in court. They said they suspended her based on gross misconduct.
On
gross misconduct. Now, what are the gross misconduct? Yes. Now, you see, most of the time it looks. The position is getting a little bit itchy for me because it looks as if you don't see anything good in what people does, but they don't do what is good. Now, the impunity, right? I saw the former governor of Bayelsa State. There's a senator now.
Serake
Disi told him, he said, you are just our presiding officer.
Yes.
Don't try to shut me down when I want to talk. Do you understand? Shutting me down is tantamount to being a dictator in the house.
And I've always said it.
But he has not been suspended.
No, can't be suspended.
See, I've always said
Meanwhile,
this idea of a senator
Yes.
suspending a colleague is
yes.
preventing a district from being
for
represented
6 months.
It shouldn't
Not
happen.
even for a day.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
And what the Senate
and
has,
I think it's unconstitutional.
what the Senate has is 14 days when there's gross misconduct.
Yeah, shouldn't.
14 days. Now 6 months.
No.
He said you should not use the name senator anymore. You said
Who are you?
No, it's gone.
Somebody elected under constitution.
Constitution.
A Senate rule does not supersede the constitution.
He said the police should be withdrawn from her. All her.
Barring whatever sexual misconduct, to this not to give credence
No.
to the sexual misconduct, was the sexual harassment
allegation.
You know, this
that
is,
one should be proven on his own terms. All the staff that work under her right now, all their salaries are suspended. That's as well as it is.
Just put yourself in the shoe of being one of those working for Natasha. If your salary is suspended, will you go to court?
But I have the right to go to court
Certainly.
against the Senate.
Yes.
Of course, they should go to court and demand. Why should they suspend their salary?
What have they done?
What have they done?
They work for the senatorial district.
That's right.
What have they done?
Of course, they should go to. They should also go to court and demand justice.
You see, I think
That's it.
Akpabio must go and rethink and sit down and come to reality and find out that this is not the way
Okay,
it ought to be.
let's put it this way: if it is true that Akpabio orchestrated this recall process that never succeeded,
Yes.
do you think it's fair for Natasha to dig deep into how Akpabio became a senator in the first place?
Sure.
Because he contested for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Based
The primaries. And as at that time, forms for Senate each
Was closed.
All senatorial
Okafor, they say those that stays in glass house don't throw stones. So you must learn not to throw stones if you stay in glass house. If you know how you got to the position and what took you there, there's something you should not act like a lord. We saw Saraki spend 4 years there. We saw
Power is transcendent.
David Mark spend 8 years there.
It's almost 12 years.
8 years as Senate President, 16 years as a senator in the House. So him coming to the Senate and now making it look as if other senators are his
He's having an issue with this senator from Adamawa. Yes.
Do you understand?
They say
So the other allegation.
he who the gods wants to
Kill
He will first
makes
make mad. So some people are going mad in Nigeria. When they get very madder, sorry, then
Look, let me tell you what we're experiencing.
against us.
Yes, let me tell you what we're experiencing in our country. What we're experiencing in our country is an attack on democracy.
That's right. That's what we're talking
You know,
about.
you have said it.
Yes.
It's an attack
not
on
about
democracy.
Natasha
Where,
or
no. Where people cannot talk.
Yes.
Even co-senators can't talk.
Can't talk.
Co-ministers can't talk. Co-governors can't talk.
All the senators are not all though.
Not all.
Most of the senators are now praise singers and psychophans for the executive.
But the ones like Siriaki Dixon and so many other ones
That's why
that
I
are
said not
there,
all.
they must also stand up and they must hear their voice.
That's right.
They must stand up and say,
Yes.
no,
And
this
it's
is not right.
sufficient to avoid sitting. And,
No, it's not
not
sufficient.
come and not be part of the
Yes,
quorum.
all them senators are Barry Bay and all that.
and Natasha should be allowed back. Because I think the suspension is as a result of fear of things that should be, because she's no longer afraid of them, so they are afraid of her. So keeping her off is an attempt, to see how they will stop her voice.
I'm not trying to put a gender issue inside. Knowing she's a woman, I know women are emotional.
Yes.
Once they are out, they are all out.
Okafor, you can't say you don't want to put it. There's gender shame, man. How many women do we have in the house?
Or is she
Compare what the ratio-
is she Bobrisky?
And now you want to shut down the few that
The
we
few
have.
that we have in the house.
It's not nice.
It's not nice.
I think all should be allowed to.
Yeah, I think
to
they
flourish.
should. If I was him, obviously they're allowed to. This is a free consultancy service
Yes.
that is not paying for.
Yes.
I think he should shut everything down, press a reset button,
Yes.
and move back from all those indignations,
Yes.
and let everybody come back and go and visit them. Maybe hold a party for them and tell them that all
Maybe
of
that's
them
how it's going to end at the end of the day.
It should be that.
I pray.
But I hope he hears my
But
voice.
sometimes when it ends like that, certain things are not tested. That's why we like this thing going through court process. Like, for example,
can
now,
I shock
this
you?
recall process now. because it got INEC.
To INEC, yes.
It's INEC was able to see that they never got the 50% signatures of the required voters from the constituency. It was shut down.
And I want to say kudos to INEC for the first time. At least if they've done something good, let's say for the first time.
They didn't add up. They didn't pad it.
No, they didn't pad it.
Lawa,
They didn't pad it.
All right, 30 seconds. You wanted to say something?
Yes, Natasha, I am grateful. I'm proud of her. At least we having products of Kogi, standing like we have our senior advocate Okutepa, who will come out and say it the way it is. Bello should better understand that his time is over. He should rather be praying that the Nigerian system should not be favoring his allegations of the money he has siphoned from the state. He should be thinking of how to return some money and apologize to the state. Senate President,
Some or all.
he can't return
All the money stolen should be returned. If you can't return that, you should be in jail.
Certainly, he should. Jail is.
Did he give you some to keep that you don't want to
If
return?
Bello gave me some money, he would have had with some.
Oh, really?
I'm sure. And then
I didn't know you
the
liked me that
Senate,
much.
he's not Senate President alone. The other senators should understand that if they fall out with the power of the Senate or the executive, what they are allowed to be happening to Natasha can also happen. And they may not have the shock to stand it. Natasha is a woman,
Especially
a man.
He should calm down.
They should better allow my sister back to the Senate to
Is that right?
to
The
the
time
growth.
is against us. Natasha is still there. She's still a senator. Nobody, no senator is a sub-senator to another one.
Yes.
They are all equals. They are just, Akpabio, the Senate President, just the first among equals.
Simple.
They are all equals, okay? Just like you said, let's hope they can settle it on a dining table. And so
You should do that.
Nigeria can have peace.
Yes.
Okay, this is Tunis Insights. We'll be right back.